Alright guys, well I'm back today with a brand new can that just hit the market. In fact, it's an entire line of cans from CMMG from their new Zeroed line of suppressors. There's 4 different configurations and we're going to be focusing on the one that was sent out for test and evaluation, but they actually have the Zeroed 30, which is a 6.5 inch long can dedicated for 30 caliber suppressors, and obviously it can be used with calibers smaller than that. They also have the Zeroed 556K can measuring 5.5 inches dedicated for 556. Then they have the Zeroed 36K, which we are looking at today, measuring in at 5.5 inches for a 36 cal and under. And then they also have their 22 long rifle setup. On top of that, they've released a lot of new products like their Zeroed adjustable gas block and different hub mounts specifically to get you going on different style suppressors. Before we get too far into it, I do want to give a huge shout out to CMMG for sending this out to the channel for us to test and evaluate. When they told me about their new lineup of suppressors, I specifically requested their 36 can, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Let's talk about the basics features, starting with the MSRP. These guys come in for the 030, 556, and 36, all right at about $550, which is insane value for money when you take a look at that MSRP. On top of that, they've done a lot of really nice things on this can to make it an everyman's can. Durable, affordable, and reliable. Let's take a look closer at the 36K. Now, this one in particular was really cool because 36 caliber is actually going to be good for 9mm. So not only is this going to work on 223, 556, 308, 65 Creedmoor centerfire rifle cartridges, it's also going to work on things like 9mm, and with that hub compatibility, you can swap out a wide variety of mounts. And that's one of the first things I want to mention is the fact that this is hub compatible. If you're unfamiliar, hub threads have become an industry standard, although not all suppressor companies are using hub threads at the end to mount up. A lot of them actually weld or fix their mounts in place, making them limited to one style mounting system. This one does not do that. It's a fully welded can from front to back, except for those hub threads, allowing you to swap out whatever hub compatible mount you want. It actually comes with 2 in the box, which is a great value for money, and I would love to see more suppressor companies do this because a lot of times hub mounts can range anywhere from $75 to $300 depending on what mounting system you use. They include a 1/2x28 direct thread mount in the box with a nice flathead drive on the end, allowing you to pop that off with ease, and they also give you a 5/8x24. Now the 5/8x24 is going to be good for those 308s, 300 blackouts, 6.5 Creedmoors, and the 1/2x28 is going to be great for things like the 5.56 as well as 9mm. We'll also talk about different hub compatibility options like the tri-lug adapter hub compatible option from different companies that will thread right into the back because these have hub threads on them. And as you see in the intro, I easily adapted this to run on an MP5 or any tri-lug mounting system because of the tri-lug hub mount. If you have a dead air suppressor system already mounted up, if you've got dead air flash suppressors everywhere you can think of, you can grab the dead air hub mount, thread it into the back of this very affordable can, and now you can run it on all of your muzzle devices without going and swapping those out. Or if you've got some Surefire muzzle devices pinned and welded in place on things like your FNs or your Daniel defenses that you don't want to get rid of, you can grab some things like from B&T that adapts it with hub threads to run on a Surefire can. I've actually done some videos on these particular mounting systems if you want to check it out. So very versatile in the mounting system option. The other cool thing when it comes to like mounting up and removing those end caps is you really want to crank them down. And then once you do that, they're a little bit difficult to get off. Well, CMMG thought of an amazing little idea right here. This is actually compatible with a 3/8 inch end drive for like a ratchet. So you can clip your ratchet in the end of this, grab your standard wrench and pop that end cap off with ease. And now you are good to go. Sorry, not the end cap, the actual suppressor mounting system. That's innovation. That is a really great idea, and I love the fact that they did this. There's no special proprietary tools, which lends back to the zero theory of being an everyman's can. Now, on top of that, this guy is actually a nitride finished stainless steel, and this is a heat-treated stainless steel that is going to be able to withstand those higher pressures. They're utilizing 17.4 stainless steels, so it's going to be good for those 308s and larger calibers, including 300 Winchester Magnum. Now, there are barrel length restrictions, and you can dig through those, but they're not unreasonable barrel length restrictions. You can run a lot of 5.56 through this. You can run a lot of 308 through this, and you can run a lot of 300 blackout 7.62 by 39 without any issues. And that's another thing that I want to talk about with this can. A lot of 30 cal cans are pushing the limits of compatibility on a 7.62 by 39. Whether you're running a 36 cal can or when you're running a 30 cal can on something like a 7.62 by 39, especially on an AK, you have to worry about bore concentration. And those 7.62 by 39 rounds are just barely squeezing through there. Now, they'll work in most instances, but this 36 cal can allows you to run that 7.62 by 39 even on a AK if you're using something like that Wolverine dead air mounting system that's hub compatible on here. That just makes life so much simpler, and it gives you more of a peace of mind with this larger bore diameter. Now, is this going to be as quiet on a 5.56 as the 5.56 can? No, but it's going to do a pretty decent job, especially on things like the 30 cals. On 300 blackout, this was at a very good sound tone. Now, this is also not the quietest can on the market. There's going to be quieter cans in the market, or there's going to be better cans when it comes to low back pressure. But this, guys, is an amazing can with great sound performance, great modularity, and great overall innovation and durability that's going to give you everything you need for a true, like, jack-of-all-trades rifle can. The other cool thing, as you can see in the intro, is you can actually thread this on the end of something like a 38 357 lever action rifle or break barrel rifle. And that allows you to run this on even more options. So if you do have one of those lever action 357s or 38 specials with the 36K, you're going to be able to run that can because it's the same diameter as a 9mm. So you can run this on everything from a 9mm PCC, MP5, 308 bolt action rifle, AR-15, all the way to a lever action 357 Magnum and pretty much everything in between. If you were looking for a good first starter can, this one's going to be hard to beat. Now, if you don't plan on running it on 9mm or or maybe 357, and you do want a really dedicated 5.56 can, they got those as well as the 30 cal dedicated cans. But this, by far, to me, is the coolest in the collection because of its versatility and durability. A huge shout out to CMMG and their new Zero lineup for sending this out to the channel. Looking forward to trying this out on even more platforms as I continue to run it down at the range. Make sure you're subbed to the channel so you don't miss any of these suppressor videos coming up in the future, because we just got the $200 tax stamp removed off of suppressors because of the bill that just passed. Now, it doesn't remove them from the NFA, unfortunately, and I think that's ridiculous, but we will see coming January 1st, no more $200 tax stamps. So get ready, guys. It's about to be good. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.